So last portion we talked about Balak, the story of the king of Moab that was afraid from the Israelite that they're coming, and he sent for the greater and terrible sorcerer to come and to curse the people of Israel. And that sorcerer came and he couldn't do it, and instead of cursing he was blessing the people of Israel. And Balak was so upset, and he told him, go away from here, go to your way. You didn't help me at all, right? And Bilam, before he leaves, he's given him advice. He's given him advice that the Creator doesn't really like the people of Israel to go with other women, that is not from their nation, and to worship their gods. And that's what the king of Midian did. Balak and the king of Midian, that's what they did. The king of Midian, Tzur, his name was Tzur. He was a king. He was from all those nations. He was the most powerful one. And he sent his own daughter, Cosbi. He sent his own daughter to do that. He literally sacrificed. So you can see the hate that they had towards Israel. You see that the hate that the negativity has towards positivity, because they'll try to do everything. They have nothing to lose. They'll send their daughters, they'll send, they don't care, because people who are, I don't want to talk about people, but negativity, when even ourselves, like, let's be honest with ourselves, when we're upset, when we are mad, when we're jealous, when, we feel that negative thoughts, in that moment, the world can be destroyed, and we are still going to keep with our negativity because we are right, because we're angry, because we're jealous, because it's not fair. We all know that. We all been in this place at least one time or another, right? So the king of Tzur, the king of Midian, he sent his own daughter to seduce the head of the tribe of Shimon, Zimri. The Torah is not mentioning their name in the last portion, but does mention their name in this portion. So, Zimri brought Cosbi into his tent, and he did what he did in front of all Israel, and Moses and Aaron are crying outside of the tent. And that's how the portion finished, that Pinchas took a sword, took a romach, and he went into the tent, which was a miracle by itself, because Zimri was the head of the tribe of Shimon. So he had so many bodyguards. There's no way that he could go into that tent. And the Midrash is telling about all the miracles that happened, that Pinchas could actually go into that tent and kill them. The question is, that I'm asking myself a lot, and here especially, Pinchas is killing those people. He's taking the law in his hands, and he's coming in the name of God to kill someone else. Is that what the Torah wants to teach us? That we can take the law to our hands, and it says, Pinchas ben Elazar ben Aaron HaKohen heshiv et chamati me'al bnei Israel. The Creator is telling Moses, Pinchas, the son of Elazar, the son of Aaron HaKohen, he made me feel, he took my anger away from the people of Israel because he was jealous, my jealousy. And I didn't kill the people of Israel because of him in my jealousy. So the root of kano, kuf nun aleph, to be jealous, is mentioned here in the Torah in one sentence 3 times. And if we check numerology, we see that kano is numerology of 151, okay? And mikveh, which purity, also mean 151. Because the Torah, is talking a lot. The Creator was mad. The Creator was jealous. The Creator was sad. I mean, if the Creator doesn't have any desire whatsoever, so it cannot be that the Creator was mad, or the Creator was sad, or the Creator was jealous. And it cannot be that the Creator reward, because he reward Pinchas He made him a priest for life. And Pinchas is Elijah the prophet that is coming to our life all the time, every Passover. I know a lot of people, I didn't met Elijah myself, at least I don't know that I did, but I know a lot of people that, they were in danger, and suddenly a man appeared, and then that man disappear, and they gave them a message or saved them. So Elijah is an angel that is always coming here to life, and Pinchas didn't die. So all this reward from the Creator for killing people. All right. So thank God, in the portion of Behalotcha, the Zohar is telling us that whoever thinks that the Torah is stories, I wish he didn't come to this life. Right? I wish he was never born. That's what the Zohar is saying, because we cannot understand it on the literal story. All right. And like I said, like the Rav said, and I'm repeating, that kano, okay, the root of jealousy is the same numerology of mikveh, is purification. All right, so Pinchas, when you learn Telem examination, the first thing that it says in the Telem examination is that we cannot understand anything from Keter, Chochma, Bina, the Sfirot, the Olamot, the worlds. We cannot understand anything, and we cannot really even try to imagine, because when we're imagining, we're putting it in a vessel, we're limiting it, so we cannot really imagine it. So when we read the story of Pinchas, it's not about a literal death, all right? But Pinchas was purifying the negativity of worship another God. And what does it mean, worship another God? Again, the God really jealous? Because God has a purpose, right? The Creator has a purpose. He created human being for pleasure. Okay, sometimes it doesn't look like it, right? But He created human being for pleasure, to give them pleasure, right? And when they're not following, and when, they're doing, it's called a sin, chet. And chet, tet, aleph, from the word atum, it's blocking all abundance. It's blocking, and when we're working other gods, when we following our desire for the self alone, without the restriction, we create short circuit in our life. We are making sure that all the pipe, that is coming from the Sfirot, is being blocked. So what the Creator wants us to get purified. To purified from what? Okay, purified from our negativity. And what is our negativity? Negativity is mostly our fear. All right, the fear, and we talked about it a lot, the fear to feel pain mostly. And because every fear is to feel pain. And Pinchas did not care, did not care if he's going to die. He knew that if he's going to go to that tent of Zimri, when all those bodyguards, he knew that he's going to die, But again, it's not like sometimes we have people who kill for the name of God and don't care to be killed. It's much, much deeper than that. It's not about the story, okay? It's about purification. But what we can learn from Pinchas is that he went all the way. If I want to open a business, or I want to start a relationship, or I want to start a new friendship, and I'm coming to that new friendship or that new business with fears, and I'm not going with everything I have, que sera, sera, I'm going with everything I have, then negativity comes in, and then many times it's not successful. And the Creator doesn't want that from us, for us. He wants us to be successful. The Creator is telling Moses, go to the mountain, תעלה להר העברים, so you can see, ויאמר השם אל משה, עלה אל הר העברים הזה וראה את הארץ אשר נתתי לבני ישראל. You should go on the mountain, it's called the mountain of Avarim, and you should see the land that I'm going to give to the people of Israel. And you should see it, and then I'm going to take you, and you should go with your fathers, like your brother Aaron. And then Moses is asking the Creator, tell me, who's going to be the one, that is going to replace me? Moses wants to know who's the one who's going to replace him. And Moses is asking the Creator that person will be patient, and he will be a leader that he will know what the people of Israel wants, because they're cranky, right? They always complain, and when they complain, they don't feel like doing. So he's telling him they need someone, okay, asher יצא לפניהם, that will go before them, and that will take them out, that will bring them, that will be there for them, because they cannot be like sheep without a shepherd. They need to have someone strong that will lead them, but he needs to be with patience. So then the Creator is telling him about Yoshua, Yoshua bin Nun, that he's going to one who's going to replace them. The Midrash is asking a question. The Midrash is asking, why after this, that the Creator told him that it's going to be Yoshua, he's told him what to do, and in a minute we're going to talk about it. But then immediately after, he's talking about sacrifice again, he's moving on. And the Midrash is saying something nice. The Midrash is given a story about a woman, okay, a mother that has children, and she's such a good mom, and she loves the children, and she's taking care of all their needs, and she's making sure that they're fine. Unfortunately, that woman is going to die before time. So she's calling the father, and she's telling him, her husband, right? She's calling her husband, and she says, can you please make sure that you're taking care of the kids like I do? Can you please make sure that you're taking care of all their needs and that they're being taken care of? So the father say, okay, but I want you to call the children, and I want you to tell them that you're not going to be here, and they should listen to me and not going to give me any problems. And then, okay, I can also have mercy with them. And the Midrash is saying that, we said that the world was created from judgment and from mercy. So mercy is because there is time. There is time. For example, if a person will go over the speed limit, and he will know that the moment I always say he, but it's he, she, that the moment this person is passing 80, actually it's 65, but there is a underline 80. So when the moment the person goes through 80 miles an hour, immediately his bank account is going to be charged $5,000 for a ticket. Do you think anyone will go above 80 or above 65, whatever it is? Or if a person knows that, I don't know, he's not, like Drav said, that a person knows that he's not allowed to steal. But if he will know that the moment he steals, his hand will drop, he will never steal, right? So that's judgment. That's judgment. And when you really think about light and vessel, it's judgment. That cause and effect is judgment. Because we know that if we are doing restriction, okay, if we are doing the restriction, if we're doing what we need to do, if we are following those sacrifices, the sacrifice of the desire for the self alone, shortcut, right? The desire for the self alone. When we know that if we are following the desire for the self alone, we create a short circuit. We don't see it at the moment, but we will see it long term, right? But it's judgment. So even if the Creator is saying, okay, I'll find here Joshua, he has mercy. He can lead the people. But the people also immediately after he's talking about Joshua, he's telling about the sacrifice. It's about that man that says, yes, okay, I will take care of them. But they need to know that there is certain rules that the world has to go by. And that's the world of restriction. Because every time, again, we're coming from every time we are grabbing, every time we make goals that are not aligned, with our spiritual goals, And we can have any goal we want, to be successful, to have money, to have everything we want. But it's not aligned. If it's not aligned with our spiritual goal, if it's not aligned with restriction, we create a short circuit. So the Creator says, yes, here, this is Joshua. Joshua will lead them. And then immediately about the sacrifice. They need to know, like that mother. Yes, I will take care of them. But they need to know which path to follow. And if they follow my path, cause and effect, if they follow my path, they're going to be okay. When they were okay in the last portion and they were connected, what do you mean to be okay? When they're connected to the Creator and all the pipes were open and they were really connected. Bilam tried to curse them, but he couldn't. He couldn't curse them. He couldn't curse them because when a person is connected, I think I mentioned it in the question and answer last week. Rabbi Avraham Abulafia was a great Kabbalist before his time, because he was talking about Kabbalah when Kabbalah was not that open in the world yet, and people were afraid to touch the secret, of Kol Kabbalah. And Rabbi Abulafia says, when a person has the right desire, Cheshek is a great desire. When a person has the right desire, nothing can hurt him. Not blessings and not curses. Not blessings and not curses. Like someone spoke a language that he does not understand. Because when we are connected, we are coming with the right desire. Not the desire for the self alone, the true desire, the desire of the soul that can achieve things through physicality. But when we are connected to our true desire, curses cannot hurt us. Therefore, Balak could not, curse the people of Israel. He couldn't do it because they were connected. What did he do? He says, make them sin. What is sin? Create a chet, to block those pipes from receiving the light. And the moment the people of Israel did something that disconnect them from the Creator, disconnect them from that channels of energy, they could be hurt in a second. All right? So, yes, mercy. There is mercy in the world. Every time we do something that we know that is not good and nothing happened, there is mercy in the world. And because we have tshuva is repentance, and we were talking about repentance in Elul, in the time of Virgo. But because these 21 days is really connecting also to that 21 days of the holidays, we can do that tshuva, and we can learn this, we can receive that energy from the portion of Pinchas, that we can do this tshuva, that every time, the fact that the Creator gives us time, it takes us time to fix. It gives us time to fix. So even if we did something, we can repent and we can eliminate whatever effect that will come after it. So yes, there is time. Yes, there is mercy. But if we're not repentant, if we're not going back and fix it, it stays, within our resume or in our rishimu. Mars in Leo. Mars in Leo, we were talking about Joshua, right? Leadership. Joshua was a leader. Okay, that Mars in Leo is leadership. Okay, if you just take Mars in Leo. Now it depends what's the mood of Mars, right? How do we know the mood of Mars? First of all, Mars is fire, Leo is fire, so Mars in Leo feels great already. Okay, but what will change his mood? The aspect or the relationship that he's doing with other planets. They can elevate his mood or they can make him upset a little bit, right? So today, Mars is opposite Saturn in Aquarius. Now, we know about Leo. And also Kabbalistically, and next month we're in the month of Cancer, next month we're going to talk about Leo. We know that half of Leo until the 9th of Av, the 9th of Leo is very, very negative, and after the 10th is very, very positive. And this is really the Leo, because great leaders, But if you don't give them the respect, they become jealous, they become moody, they become angry. They have their issues, right? So when Mars in Mars in Leo is opposite Saturn. Saturn is in Aquarius. Aquarius is the opposite of Leo. He wants to be a leader. And Mars, he says, yeah, but you need to do it for the sake of the people. You're not a leader for you to feel great. You are a leader because you have patience for the people, and you can lead them, and you can show them, and you will have patience for them even if they will upset you and they're not going to listen. You're still going to listen to them. You're still going to take care of them. Okay, so Mars wants to rule for the sake of ego. Mars and Leo, I'm the leader. And the Saturn is forcing him to do it for the sake of community, to come from the right place. And this is what really happened with Pinchas. That's why he came to the place of shalom, of peace. That he was jealous for the Creator, but his jealousy was pure jealousy. Something that we cannot understand today, because our jealousy is always mixed up with I don't have something that you have. All right, but for Pinchas, it was pure. That's why we cannot do what Pinchas did. We cannot do, because we are not in the level of that purity that Pinchas have. That's why Pinchas could be a complete person, and that's why Pinchas never died, because his desire to do the Creator saying was pure. All right, so what is really happening? There's a lot of power. There is a lot of power, but the Creator is making sure by putting that Mars and Leo together that it's going to be from the right consciousness. And if it's not from the right consciousness, that Mars and Saturn are going to fight. They're not going to align with each other. And Mars is the old devil, and Saturn. Saturn is the old devil. And Mars is the warrior, and they're going to bump. So if you really pay attention, whatever is happening, especially today, and it already last week and next week, because, it takes time for, today is exact, but it takes, they're getting closer before and after. So not to get upset from things, it's try to find the good in everything. Like you're a leader. Think of yourself as a leader. I'm the leader. It's either I'm the leader of my family, or the leader of my friends, or the leader of my community. And when someone upset me, I want to have patience for that person, because if I'm looking myself as a victim, I'm far away from being leader. But if I'm looking at myself in every situation in my life that I'm the leader, it gives me the power to have patience. It gives me the power to forgive. Because I'm a leader, I feel responsible for the other person. But if I'm coming with my ego, it's a clash. All right? And tomorrow, Mars is going to trine. He's having another relationship, another mood, while he's still opposite Saturn, right? But he's having a trine with Chiron. Chiron in Aries. Chiron in Aries does not feel he can lead. Aries is also a fire sign, is also a leader, is a warrior, is the ruler of Mars. All right, so when Chiron, the wounded healer, is in Aries, sometimes we don't feel we have that power. So when Mars in Leo is in a nice relationship, in a harmonic relationship with him, is healing. And that's the energy of the week also, the healing. They heal the self-esteem, to know who we are, to know how our power, to know what we are capable of without that ego, to use that power, from a true place, all right? And the next day, on Sunday, that Mars in Leo, still, all the weekend, Mars is like tack with all those planets. He's going to square Uranus in Taurus. Now, Uranus is the planet that rules Aquarius. Taurus is dictatorship. That's how I want things to happen. And Uranus, it's not going to happen your way. Okay, so we can look at life that is not happening our way, or we can see how much power we can have to change, which is unbelievable when we look at ourselves as leaders. Okay, just look at ourselves as leaders, take the responsibility of being a leader, and suddenly we have all the power, to take care of everything that is happening around us. And the next 3 days, the sun is doing the same thing. The sun is in Cancer. The sun in Cancer, she's also going to trine Chiron. The sun is also going to square Uranus. Okay, but the sun is in where is the sun? Is in Cancer, right? So, but the sun is also power. The sun is power. The sun is power. Mars is power. But with mercy, because it's Cancer. So imagine if I'm a leader and I really think that mother that always taking care of her children, that as much as you sometimes mad at your children, you always love them. So there's a lot of energy of healing. And Venus at the end of this, at the week, next week, she's going to do exactly the same thing. She's going to trine Chiron, and she's going to opposite Saturn. And again, Venus is in Leo as well. So you see how much power there is. There is a lot of power. Power of leadership. Leo is love. Leo is energy. Leo is power. Leo is creativity. But if we really do it from the right place, like Pinchas with leadership. So what's that lesson of this week is Joshua, he was a true leader. Moses was a true leader. Pinchas was a true leader. He was real with everything he did. Beautiful, beautiful power that if we know how to use it, like we said, there is Joshua and then immediately the sacrifice. If we know how to follow, that restriction, to see reality not as victim, to see reality as powerful people, as everything that is happening to us, it's our opportunity to break through, not to be afraid, like the person who was rejected. So what? So I was rejected, but I'm still going, but I'm still fighting. Not to give up, not to give up. And I know it's hard, but one day, just in a blink of an eye, things are opening. Things are happening. We're meeting the right person. We're making the right. We're finding the right job. We're making the right. We're finding the right friends. Just in a blink of an eye, it can happen. When we know our power, and when we use it right.